In its plans to ensure a uniform pump price across the country, the federal government paid a total of 22.7 billion naira as bridging claims to transporters of petroleum products. This was disclosed at the recent interactive session between the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority and stakeholders in the oil industry. Adeshewa Odushoga reports.
It's the first quarterly interactive session between the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority and stakeholders in the downstream sector in 2022. Stakeholders at the meeting included top officials of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPC), the Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria (MOMAN), and the Depot and Petroleum Product Marketers Association of Nigeria. They are reviewing activities in the sector and the implementation of the Petroleum Industry Act. The Chief Executive Officer of the authority, Mr. Farouk Ahmed, while addressing journalists on the outcome of the meeting, says government paid a total of 22.7 billion naira as bridging claims to transporters of the petroleum products in its plans to ensure a uniform pump price across the country.
Since the last meeting of December, we have paid in December about 12.7 billion naira to the transporters. Last week, Monday, we paid another 10 billion, and this week we are paying additional 20 billion to the transporters. This is just to catch up in order to give them respite because of the difficulties they are facing with the economic realities.
Citing the successes of zero queues at the last festive season, the Group Executive Director of the Downstream at the NNPC, Mr. Adeyemi Adetunji, says NNPC would continue to play its role as an energy supplier of last resort for the country.
We have a regulator in the downstream sector, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. So NNPC, like other players, would also subscribe, are subscribing to the highest standards of what the regulations, in the industry.
Also, the chairman of the Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria, Mr. Olumide Adeosun, on his part acknowledged that key issues raised at the last quarter by the marketers have been addressed.
A case in point of a work in progress is the plan that we will need to have in place post announcement of the postponement of the subsidy removal within the PIA.
The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority have disclosed that the Presidential Steering Committee is putting regulations in place on the implementation of the PIA, where about 38 regulations relating to the authority have been received and about 8 draft regulations forwarded to it for review. Adeshewa Odushoga, TVC News, Lagos.